Hi everyone, welcome back to another FPL video on my channel. These are my Game Week 4 transfer plans. So I'll be sharing with you the changes I'm looking to make in my team ahead of Game Week 4. So if you find the video helpful in any way, please do leave a like on the video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. For Game Week 3, I got 56 points and I'm on a green arrow, so it looks like it was a decent score overall, but I think we'll discuss more about Game Week 3 during my team selection video. But for this one, we are going to look at the transfers that I'm looking to make in my team ahead of Game Week 4. So this is how my team currently looks for Game Week 4 without making any changes. I have Edison in goal, who plays at home against Fulham. In defense, I've got a back four of Saliba, Estupiñán, Ben Chilwell and Matty Cash. So now if I look at my back four, chances are I will not be getting a clean sheet from any of my players. I think United can't score against Arsenal, Newcastle can't score against Brighton, Ben Chilwell at home against Nottingham Forest. I think we've seen Nottingham Forest cause problems against United, so they could as well cause problems for Chelsea, and there might not be a clean sheet to get from Chilwell. And Cash away at Liverpool, I think we expect Liverpool to score in that fixture as well, so there could be no clean sheet points from my defense in Game Week 4. In midfield, I have Sterling at home against Nottingham Forest, Saka and Martinelli playing at home against Manchester United, Mitoma at home against Newcastle, and Rashford playing away against Arsenal. So I think it's tough fixtures all around the team, and it could be one of those weeks where we end up with a very low scoring game week. And up front, I have Holland playing at home against Fulham. So at this moment, I think I've only got Holland to trust for some returns in Game Week 4. Other than that, when I look all over my team, there's tough fixtures all over the place. So I'm looking to make a change or two in my team just to age myself for some better scores in Game Week 4. Now, the two players that I'm looking at as my possible transfer out, I've got one, Martinez, who plays away against Arsenal. So in my defense, I'm looking at Martinez as a player that I could possibly transfer out for Game Week 4. And in midfield, I'm looking at Martinelli as another player that I can transfer out in Game Week 4. Now with Martinelli, I think he started the season a bit slow than he usually does, so I already have Saka to cover up an Arsenal spot, so maybe Martinelli is someone that I could look at as a possible transfer out in Game Week 4. So looking at the transfer options that I'm currently looking at, with Martinez, I'm looking at Malo Gusto at 4.1 as my first replacement option. He plays Nottingham Forest in Game Week 4, and then he's got Bournemouth in Game Week 5. He plays Aston Villa in Game Week 6, and then he's got Fulham in Game Week 7. So the fixtures are there for Chelsea. He did get 2 assists and a clean sheet against Luton in Game Week 3, but I think I'm not really expecting attacking returns from Malo Gusto in each and every game. But I think at 4.1 is one of those cheap options to get into my team for that other Chelsea asset that I could bring into my team ahead of Game Week 4. So I'm looking at him based on the fixtures that he currently has, and also the price point that he's currently at as a replacement for Martinez. The second option that I'm looking at is Udogie. Now with Udogie, he plays Burnley in Game Week 4. He's then got Sheffield United in Game Week 5. He then plays Arsenal and Liverpool back to back, and then he's got Luton. So I think with Udogie, I think he's got 2 good fixtures in the next 2 games, but then that Arsenal and Liverpool game week, those are fixtures that maybe I could expect to bench him, because I expect Arsenal and Liverpool to score a goal or 2 against Spurs, because I don't think they've had any tough fixtures yet, maybe except the United fixture, which you can say United didn't really play well. But I think when they play tough teams who attack more, and the spaces that they're leaving behind when they attack, they could get exposed. So with Udogie, I think against Burnley and Sheffield, that's someone that I could be looking at as an option to bring into my team. But against Arsenal and Liverpool, I would definitely be looking to bench him if I manage to bring him into my team ahead of Game Week 4. Now, if I try to compare the two options, Malo Gusto is a cheaper option, and favorable fixtures are also with Chelsea, because with Udogie, he has 2 good fixtures at the start, but then he's got Arsenal and Liverpool, while Malo Gusto is only got that Aston Villa in between the fixture that maybe you could expect Chelsea to concede a few goals. But other than that, they do have a very good run of fixtures coming up in the next 3 or 4 games. So for Martinez, I'm looking at Malo Gusto and Udogie as my possible replacements if I decide to make a defensive change. Now, the second transfer that I'm looking at is Gabriel Martinelli. The first option that I'm looking at is James Maddison. Now Maddison at 7.6 million, he's got very good fixtures coming up. They play Burnley, Sheffield United, and then they've got Arsenal, Liverpool back to back. So I think I've managed to stay away from Maddison at the start. I did have him in my draft, like I said, but I took him out late. but then I didn't really have the chance to actually bring him into my team in the past few game weeks. But I think at the moment he's someone that I'm looking at as an option to bring into my team this game week. I think I'm leaning towards bringing in Maddison this game week, provided that I see the training pictures and he's past fit for the next 2 game weeks. So I think he's someone that I could be looking at as an option to bring into my team to replace Gabriel Martinelli with. Now he's got 3 stars, 2 assists and a single goal in the past 3 games. So I think Maddison is a very good option to bring in, and that's someone that I'm looking at as a possible transfer for game week 4. Now the second option that I'm looking at is Bruno Fernandez. Now with Bruno Fernandez, the downside with Bruno are the fixtures. I think he plays Arsenal in game week 3, and then there's an international break, and then he returns at Brighton, and then the fixtures turn for good. Now because when he plays against Brighton after the break, he's got Burnley, Crystal Palace, Brentford and Sheffield United. I think I could really be willing to bring in Bruno Fernandez to double up on those United assets, because I already have Marcus Rashford, but with Bruno I wasn't quite sure to have 2 of them, but he looked really good against Nottingham Forest. I think we expect United to get better as time goes, so Bruno Fernandez is also someone that I'm looking at as an option to bring into my team ahead of game week 4. Now when I compare between Maddison and Bruno Fernandez, with Maddison he's got 2 fixtures at the start that are great, and Bruno's got very bad 2 fixtures at the start from game week 4 and 5. Now after that the fixtures turn for Maddison for the worst, and then they turn for the best for Bruno Fernandez. So I think at some point I'll have to be switching between these 2 midfielders. I could start with Maddison for the next 2 game weeks, and then when the fixtures turn I could then jump to Bruno Fernandez when the fixtures come good for him, because Maddison at the moment 2 assists and a single goal, and Bruno Fernandez got 1 assist and a single goal for the season. So I think Maddison only at 14.8% ownership and Bruno Fernandez at 22.2% ownership. I think Maddison is also cheaper, so that's the one that I'm currently leaning towards to make a transfer for in game week 4. So just to sum all the transfer thoughts up, I've got 1 transfer that I'm going to be using in game week 4. I've got a defensive or a midfield change that I can make. If I decide to make a defensive change, Martinez is the one that I'll take out, and I'll bring in either Udogie or Malo Gusto. If I decide to make a change in my midfield, then Martinelli is the one that I'll take out for either Bruno Fernandez or James Maddison. So those are the changes that I'm currently looking at in my team, and obviously I haven't made these changes early on because I really want to take time with the changes. I want to make sure every player is available before the deadline or before I make any changes in my team, because I think 3 or 4 days is long enough for something to happen to a player, for them to get injured or anything like that. So I really do take time with the changes. I have what I want to do in mind, but I make the changes at the last minute before deadline just to be sure that I don't bring in a player that could not actually be available for the next game. So this is where I currently stand with my changes ahead of game 4. If you find the video helpful in any way, please leave a like on the video and please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.